Hi, I'm Paul Hebert. For more than 20 years, my family and I have supported our community with United Way of Greater Nashua, and I have the privilege of being president of your United Way. Thanks to all of you who've joined me in working with this terrific organization. Most of us are incredibly fortunate. We live in a terrific community, we have good jobs and a warm, dry place to go home to at night, and we're blessed with good families and great friendships. We all face our own challenges, but we live in a world full of opportunity. It's natural to focus on our own hardships because sometimes they feel overwhelming. In fact, the Centers for Disease Control looked at the hardships that people face and found that in some cases they are quite literally overwhelming, especially for children and families who are caught in cycles of poverty, abuse, and neglect. Over the next few minutes, I'd like to show you the greatest risks facing our community and some examples of how your support of United Way works to make our region a better place.
The Youth Council helps parents and their kids open lines of communication. We also help teens make healthy choices and reduce the likelihood of failing grades, teen pregnancy, or misusing substances. As our children get older, it's natural for them to distance from their parents and spend more time with their peers. But when communication breaks down, even good kids can make bad decisions and get involved in risky situations by using alcohol, trying drugs, or spending too much time with people their parents disapprove of. We urge you to talk with your kids, know your child's friends, and support United Way's commitment to helping area families.
I suffered 2 leg injuries, missed several months of work, fell behind on my mortgage, and we lost our house to foreclosure. We stayed briefly with my sister and then with my mother. And if we haven't found Anne Marie House, we would have been living in a motel. I worked nights, so my first question was, is the place going to be safe for my family? And it's very safe, welcoming, and I was surprised how big the place was and how much it had to offer to my family. We're saving money to rent in the Nashua area. And Anne Marie's House is helping us to get back on our feet and be financially stable.
I was in a relationship, but I was with him for 9 years. I was actually married to him, and we had a child. It was a progression over years. I met him, I fell in love, I gave him my trust, and so over the years, it was, I feel like, a gradual breakdown of who I was. It was a breakdown of who I was until all I knew was him. And I think a big part of that was because I was so scared, because everything that I knew that was familiar to me and my self-worth was beaten down till I was so small that just everything that remained was fear in him and where he had me. And in my case, he had brought me from Las Vegas to New Hampshire, which was the ultimate control, because I now no longer had my family, my friends, my support system. Everything that was familiar to me was now on his terms in our house, which became, towards the end, my prison. I had called the police, and I had called the police a couple times, but this time they came and somebody listened. And he it was almost like he took me under his care, because he was like, look, this is what you need to do. You've got this 24-hour restraining order. Now you do what you need to do. You need to go down to the police department. And I listened to him because I was grasping for any kind of advice, anybody to give me anything, what to do, how I could get myself safe. And I know there was days for me where I didn't even think I was going to make it to the next day. And I was scared that I wouldn't make it to the next day. And that wasn't an option, because I'm mom, and you can't, you have to carry on, because you're a mom before anything. So that's what I want women to know, men, women, anybody who's affected by violence, that there's help out there. How I found Bridges, but I always like to say they found me, because in my head, that's how I always feel, because as soon as I got in contact with them, they were like my family. Like, they were, I just felt instantly welcomed, and I felt safe, and safe was a huge thing for me at that time. Where I live is because them setting me up in this transitional housing, and that's been a huge leap in my recovery and giving me that safety somewhere where I know he can't get to me, and I'm actually surrounded by other women who went through the same thing, so we all support each other. And when you go to these classes, like, all the women are feeling the same way, and you're all sharing your story, so you're learning from each other and you're releasing, which allows you to grow, and that's the most important thing, is growing, so that you can not only get away from this, but never let it happen again.
Thank you for spending a few minutes with us. I hope you'll join me in taking this opportunity to improve our community by donating to United Way.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you, because you guys are part of this, who I am today. Like, that's why I've come this far.